Warning, this content contains foul language, violence, and gore. Enjoy the story. Hi guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now this is a redo of a old series that I've redone a couple times. I just made her a little too overpowered in those versions, so I'm gonna buff her down a little bit. But she's still gonna be strong as hell. Don't get me wrong. She'll wreck people. I'm just I came up with a reason a way to make this into an actual quirk. Now the story, sorry, Izumi is going to be born quirkless. As I won't go much into it right now. I'll get into the story, but she basically going to have an artificial. She's going to create a artificial quirk for herself. Some sort of energy absorption. It will alter her DNA, stuff like that. But how I'm gonna make this work for the energy absorption power? Let's say Todoroki starts throwing fire. Izumi could easily absorb the generated energy because fire is the base energy element. So she's gonna be able to absorb explosions, fire, and in return she can shoot it back out in a energy blast. That's how I'm not having a key, sorry, into this what if. That's how she gets her abilities, her key abilities. She has to absorb the external energy, and she could reproduce and shoot it out. Her body, her body originally generated this energy, but for more powerful attacks, she'll need some more. It takes a lot more energy to do a lot more powerful moves. As we're going to start our what if now. No, the normal thing happened. Iko gave birth to little Izumi in the hospital. She is married to Asashi. As when Izumi turned 6, as the fateful day to see if her quirk, if she has a quirk, or when it's going to manifest. As Izumi's a lot different than Kanon Izuku. She doesn't have a hero worship complex. She's more into some. She's intelligent. The when Izumi when Inko had Izumi's IQ tested, as she's a super genius or prodigy. As she's just reading the book in the doctor's office, as the doctor comes in. Sorry, Miss Midoriya, but your daughter doesn't have a quirk. Come on, mother, we're wasting time here. I told you we shouldn't even bother coming to this quack. Excuse me, young lady? I don't need what you call a quirk. That's not what I need. If I want to, I could probably create a quirk. I think that's a lot more harder than you realize, young lady. That's where you're wrong, Doctor. I've already been working on a formula, a method to recreate a quirk. Dears, stop being you, please. Yeah, Mom, whatever. Come, I'll be waiting in the car, Mom. You have fun talking to the quack. Stupid doctor. Tell me what I can and cannot do. Now, this little girl, walks out as Inko apologize. We get in a car as she starts it. I'm sorry, it's my fault. No, Mother, it's not your fault. It's not that big of a deal, Mom. If I want a quirk, I'll just create one. I do plan to enter into the science field. My goal is to be a quirk gene researcher. Only will I create a quirk, Mom, I'll make it better. Far superior than the normal way you get it. My my artificial quirks will be far superior. At least you have a drive. This don't let your you should never let your passions overtake your judgment, daughter. Oh, don't worry, Mom, I won't. As she drives home as the years has progressed, as she gets bullied, but she used that all that negative energy and focus into studying. As she graduated high school before even her senior year in middle school, she got bumped into what do you call it? Time Izumi was about 14, she already graduated high school as she immediately start going into the quirk research field as she begins her career young in quirk research. As Izumi, during this process of her career path, she gets paid quite a bit of money as she got her mother out of that dump apartment into the higher class part of Japan. As Inko doesn't have to worry about anything really. Money is not an object to take care of her mother. They don't live in the same place, but they do constantly talk. As you have a young lady walking down the hallway of a laboratory, Miss Midoriya, we got everything you needed. Thank you. What type of experiment are you running? Something about quirk research. You don't have to worry about your little head about it. Just inform me if anything changes on the other projects. Understood, Lady, Professor Midoriya. Izumi walks in one of her laboratories as she smiles as she sees the thing inside the tube. As you see the sludge villain. Let me out of here. I think not. You're going to be the perfect test subject. To understand quirks a whole lot better, the quirk gene I need, something about your mutation route. You be the perfect start. Izumi presses the button as immediately the, the cage that the sludge villain is in and starts emitting electricity as he shocks the sludge villain as he starts out to scream. That's just a little warnings. Be a good little lab rat. You should be happy, villain. You're going to you're going to be a great progress when it comes to quirks, genes in general. I might, I might write a book and I might mention you into it. A minor part, but I'll mention you nonetheless. What type of person are you? I'm a scientist. That's your plain old scientist. Let's begin. As Izumi spends many months experimenting on the sludge villain. And she got what she needed as she extracted a little piece of sludge as she begins looking into the DNA as she does her genetic work. As she used the sludge villain as a template for the starters of her little experiment. As she wants to see if she could create an artificial quirk and make it a lot more superior than the actual quirks. Some time has passed, a few months, she's been experimenting on them. Oh, secretary, send, safety committee a thank you basket. Their donation has been very appreciated. Yes, Miss Midoriya. Now, I must find a way to make a quirk far superior than the number one's hero's quirk. I get the gist of it. First, I thought it was just a random strength quirk, but the wind pressure that knocked that theory off the window. The only logical choice I have is stockpile. Very interesting. I'm gonna have to meet this All Might at some point. I'm also worried about Dr. Ojiko. He's acting more weird than usual. He's up to something. Don't know what. No matter. None of my business. As long as he doesn't interfere in my projects, I don't care what he does. Miss Midoriya, you're about to be late. Oh yeah, I have that rich person's party to go to. Very well. Send the car. I'll get dressed. Oh, this is going to be boring. So boring. No matter. I must I must make a public appearance. Jimmy puts, nice clothes on for the party as she gets in her vehicle. It drops her off as it's a bunch of rich people. Mr. Yadarozu, David Shield, Momo, Melissa. Todoroki's there too. Hello, Mr. Shield. Ah, Miss Midoriya, it's always good to see you. Oh, I know you're lying, Shield, but no matter. Good to see you, Mr. Shield. You might excuse me. I have to introduce myself to the host. As Izumi walks over to Mr. Yadarozu. Hello, Mr. Yadarozu. I am Izumi Midoriya. I know quite well of you. I've been fascinated by your thiefus. I can't say that, but thiefus. Fascinated by your work. You theorize that you can recreate quirks. Precisely. It's quite doable with my intellect. Please, Miss Midori, why don't you, meet my daughter, Momo? As Momo bows, I'm Momo Yadarozu. It's a pleasure to meet you, Momo Yadarozu. I'm Izumi Midoriya. Just call me Izumi. No, I know. I see that face in your look, Momo. As she sits down next to Momo. Yeah, I've already finished with schooling. I finished schooling a while ago. I got skipped to a far bit, and graduating high school wasn't that big of a deal. I mostly did it online. It was interrupting. If I went to a public school or a private school, it would interrupt me in my work. Oh, Miss Momo, what are you planning to go to? School, that is. Oh, I want to attend UA. I want to be a hero. Huh, hero. Don't really understand it, but I'm not going to hate you for it. Everyone has their passions. Mine is this pure science. Speaking of UA, that would be a good testing ground. Yes, definitely. I'll have to put a pin on that for later. As Izumi's rambling on. As, as Momo, are you alright? Oh, my apologies. I I was analyzing. You please excuse me, and thank you again, Mr. Yadarosu. Until we meet again, Momo. Oh, whoa, whoa, it isn't second best. Melissa Shield herself, Izumi. Really hate you sometimes, Izumi. Why? Because you're inadequate compared to me? Every competition we've entered, I've won. Why do you even bother? Not do this now, Izumi. Very well, Melissa. Anyways, Izumi sits right next to Melissa. Give any thoughts of my proposal? Yeah, I'm not going anywhere near your laboratory. Oh, it's such a shame. You would have been a good testing subject. No matter, I could always test it on me. That's probably the most ideal, anyways. What do you mean, Izumi? Oh, nothing. Don't worry about your pretty little blonde head about it. As she ruffles her hair. Hey, I'm way older than you. Stop treating me like I'm a kid. You're smart, Melissa. Not a threat to me, of course, but you're decent in a warm up. When it comes to intellect, you're more like a child. And no wonder you don't have any friends. What, friends? Me? Nah, I don't need such a thing. I don't need that extraction. There's more to life than your projects, Izumi. That's where I differ. I have no interest in human interaction. I only I only attend this party out of respect towards Mr. Yadarozu and his family. They've made generous donations to my lab. Sorry guys, something pop up. Oh, I'll be damned. It isn't All Might himself. You might excuse me, Melissa. I gotta introduce myself to your uncle. Even though you shed no blood relation. That's very suspicious, but I'm not gonna dig into it. Until we meet again, Melissa. Jimmy sees a bulky man on a suit. Oh, who are you, young lady? I am Izumi Midoriya. Pleasure to meet you. Here's my card. As Izumi, hands All Might the card, and Izumi, can you bend down for a moment? Sure, young lady. Yes. I know your hero got cut down quite a bit after that little fight you had with All for One. As how do you know about? Don't worry. This don't cause suspicion. I might be able to do something for you about that little nasty little thing you have on your ribs, on the side, your right side of your body. No guarantees I can't completely heal it, but I believe I could do something about that. Give me a call. Visit me in my lab. As All Might, stands back up. It's very nice to meet you, All Might. As she shakes All Might's hand. Good luck on your hero work. Or I would stay away from the caviar. It won't agree with your stomach. Until we meet again. As Izumi walks off, we're leaving. Driver, get to the vehicle. As she says goodbye to all the people that she has to talk to, as it was more of a obligation she had to attend. Jesus, Discord's going off crazy. I'm gonna have to turn off no notifications because it keeps popping up. As you have Endeavor walks up there, All Might, Endeavor. Be cautious with that girl. What you mean? That girl, I get weird vibes from her. And to hear this from me, but she's somehow involved with the safety community. Just be cautious if you visit her. Ever. And she's just a 14-year-old girl. Well, that 14-year-old girl is a lot smarter than all of us in this room put together. She might be even more intelligent than Nezu himself. Just be cautious. Not like I care what happens to you. As Endeavor walks off. As you have Izumi, as a few weeks has passed, as she's in her little office, as she's on her chair, doing some paperwork. Ma'am, you have visitors. Who is it this time? It's Mr. Nezu and All Might. Huh? He brung the Chimera. Interesting. Well, allow them in. Direct them into my to my office, and keep them away from areas where they should be prying. Oh, it's quite sensitive. Research. Understood, ma'am. As they direct All Might and Nezu. Secretary, you leave us alone for a second. Yes, of course, ma'am. As she shuts the door. Now, what do I owe this pleasure, Mr. Nezu and Toshinori? I'll put it simply, Miss Midoriya. How do you know about All for One? Oh, That's quite simple. Well, the hero organization told me, of course. What? I do occasional work with the safety committee, so they do have such degree of knowledge, and they did brief me on the villain, All for One, and his abilities. Don't worry, I'm under contract. I can't go blabbing that out. Only reason I told why I mention it because you know. After all, you fought him, All Might. And is that anything else you want? Yeah. I was hoping you could look of my injury. Yeah. Please follow me to my laboratory. Come on, Nezu. I guess I could show you a couple things. She goes around showing Nezu a couple research projects she's been doing, as it evolves around quirks. All Might, please remove your shirt. All Might, I'm a professional. Just, just shut up and do it. Fine. She lifts up the shirt a little bit. Pretty nasty. I believe, yeah, I think that would work. And she pulls out a vial. What is that, Miss Midoriya? Oh yeah, this is a temporary quirk. It's a temporary regeneration quirk. Hopefully, this would heal you to a certain degree. It can't fully heal the wound because it's so severe, but I should at least be able to increase your capacity in your All Might form. Don't worry, these been tested. These has been fully approved by the safety committee. As he injects All Might, as he coughs up a little blood, as the wound looks a whole lot better. That's that's as much as I could help you at the moment. Once I have increased the power of the regeneration artificial quirks, I should be able to heal it completely. Thank you, young lady. It's no problem, All Might. We can't have our number one hero of peace die on us, even though it's only a matter of time. What do you mean by that? Simple, All Might. You're too reckless. You're powerful, yeah, but you're not immortal. You're still a human, regardless of what type of quirk you have. You might excuse me, All Might. Nezu, it's a pleasure to meet you both, but I have to go and attend a meeting. My secretary could show you the way out. You have a safe trip home. As Izumi leaves, we time skip as Izumi, is officially, 18. As she's in her laboratory, as she's in the middle of finalizing the final product of giving herself, a artificial quirk. By several hours, as she finally completed the formula, finally, progress. As she takes it in, as she puts the chemical into the vial, as she ejects herself in the neck, as the liquid's pure pink, as Izumi starts getting dizzy, as she falls on top of one of the tables, as it breaks in half when she made contact. As she has her hands on the ground, as there's a small imprint on the pavement, as Izumi starts screaming out in pain. Izumi's hair slowly starts to turn white as her skin starts to turn into green. As her body mass starts to increase, as she, as a tail comes from behind. Izumi struggles to get up As she knows, she left an imprint on the cement ground. Oh, okay. Need to see a mirror. As she looks at her face, I'm very pink. Great. It's a success, I guess. Is this it? Is this how I'm gonna look permanently? I hope not. I really don't like pink. But I gotta say, it feels nice having such power. Huh. I definitely I need to start testing things out. Let me turn around. Her tail whapped the desk as it went flying against the wall. Oh, note to self. Need to learn how to use my tail that I apparently have now. Well, I wanted a quirk and I got it. But how did it was not, but the artificial quirk was not supposed to change my appearance. It was supposed to give me energy absorption. That's all. It will only give me energy absorption and kinetic energy absorption. But we're definitely going to have to figure this out. As Izumi spends several days just testing out her ability, as she finally revert back to her original form. Izumi's breathing heavy. See, so that's how it is. Interesting. My energy absorption is connected to the transformation. If I don't have enough energy, I cannot transform into that form. Somehow keep majority of the strength, though. Fascinating. Not only am I able to absorb kinetic energy and out stored energy, I could act and I'm able to redirect that energy into a somewhat of a blast. All this key control of my quirk, my artificial quirk. I haven't tested out the limits of it yet, but judging by my calculations, it should be adequate enough against the biological quirks. After, testing DNA I got from All Might, after I healed him, of course I arranged the situation to be in my advantage. But the blood samples I was able to collect, interesting. That stockpile quirk is quite an amazing ability. Can't artificially duplicate it. It seems like All Might's quirk's special, some way. No matter. Can't make it. If I can't make my own one for all, I could get close enough to it. Secretary, I want you to get all the paperwork for UA. Understood, ma'am, but why? Because I'll be attending their little university. I need to test my quirk in a suitable situation. Send a generous donation to UA as well. Understood, ma'am. All I need to do is train this quirk. Quirks are like muscles. You just got to train them up. It might be a slow process, but I'll make progress nonetheless. As their alarm started going off, as several of her security guard, ma'am, the villain got away. Huh, the sludge villain got away. Very well. Where are you going, ma'am? To recapture him, of course. Not done helping him. Him or her. I really don't know at the moment. I'm getting close to revert his little mutation quirk, whatever his quirk is. Sludge. Interesting. Nasty quirk, but interesting nonetheless. Bring the you lot. Bring the containment jar. Understood, ma'am. We're moving. As Izumi takes her phone out of her pocket. As she dials a number. This is Izumi Midoriya. There's a villain attack. Well, a villain has escaped one of my facilities. I'm on my way to reclaim him as we speak. Him or her. The gender hasn't been identified yet. His records has been sponged, so I couldn't look it up the normal way. We'll be handling the situation personally. Izumi out. As they as Izumi hears an explosion in the background. We're heading there, man. We're heading down. Sorry. We're heading down there. As they pull up, as they see a bunch of the scene where the sludge villain is attacking Bakugo. As Izumi steps out of the vehicle, as several SWAT units are behind her. Fan out. Get the civilians out of the way. I'll handle this personally. This is a good opportunity to test this out. Stand down, heroes. I'll be handling the situation. Who are you? I'm from the safety community. Mind your tongue. Stay out of my way. Might be heroes, but I work for the hero organization. I have complete authority over you at the moment. Stand down, Commie Woods. And I wouldn't push the button. I wouldn't push me, Commie Woods. After all, the organization does know of your little nasty little habit of gambling. If such information got to the press, imagine the damage of your reputation. Now, stand down. That's what I thought. As Izumi walks towards the sludge villain, as the sludge villain finally notices her as he's scared. What are you doing here? I finally got free from you. You're coming home. I refuse. You refused, did you? Do you want me to remind you what happens when you displease me? Now, be a good little boy and get in your cage. A container. Uh, it's a glass made container made for the sludge villain. Drop the boy, drop the kid, and get into the jar. Containment jar. If not, then I'm going to have to punish you. As Izumi walks closer, alright, as he, drops Bakugo in his butt. As Bakugo is screaming, like, villain, I'm gonna kill you. That's the minute, Bakugo rushed towards the sludge villain. As Izumi grabbed Bakugo by the head, slammed him into the ground. As she puts her foot on his neck. Now, get in now. Get in. Now. Yes, ma'am. As he goes back into it, as she closed the lid. What's Nissy here? Go back to your daily activities. The situation has been dealt with. As Izumi, walk past everyone. Take him back to the lab. Blun try to rush back at Izumi as several of Izumi's goons pin him to the ground. As Izumi stops, looks back at Bakugo. What is your malfunction, Blondie? I didn't need your help. I could have defeated him on my own. Who the hell do you think you are? I'm Bakugo Koski, the future #1 hero. As Izumi starts laughing, you, #1 hero, you'll be lucky enough to get the second spot. You don't have what it takes to be a #1 hero. You're not adequate for the position. Bakugo. You are a nobody, and you will always be a nobody. Just because, what, you have a flashy quirk? I take it you have explosion quirks. That's what I saw in the, pretty much what I saw in the background. You have a more villainous quirk than most, the majority of the heroes. We do have that blood quirk guy, but nonetheless, I suggest you shape up, kid. The world's going to eat you and spit you out. Just because you think you're what? You got a free pass your whole life because you have a flashy quirk? The real world don't work that way, kid. That sort of behavior will get yourself killed. Release the punk. Let's go back to the lab. I have a sludge villain to discipline. As the sludge villain's like screaming, "Help me!" You know I'm only doing this for your own good, Sludgy. After all, I'm only helping you. This is not helping. You torture me. No, I was improving you. And we're almost done. Sooner or later, I'll have you revert to your original form. So till then, shut your mouth. And let me help you. And she puts, a, a very disturbing smile. As the villain, yeah, he's scared. Probably we're going to stop our part off there. In the next part, we'll go through probably the entrance exams, because there's not much we could do. We could probably do some more backstory between the sludge villain and Izumi. Now, I'll probably put a poll up, see what gender you want the sludge villain to be. Because depending on, so I plan to have the sludge villain, pretty much be her own personal bodyguard. So, I hope you guys have a good night and day. Judge my time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.